This is Rain, and I just want to explain what interesting characters mean to me and why I use this name for this season. Each and every episode may not be interesting to you or to the next person, but it may be interesting to somebody that may be going through the same thing, so it can be interesting to somebody. And a character, that's what we all are in our life. We all are different. We all are weird, quote unquote, but I call it different. And being a character is not always have to be a joke. It can be just who you are. We all have different traits, and that's what makes up this called Interesting Characters. So I hope you enjoy the show, and let me know, and tell a friend and tell a friend. What is so-called human nature that you speak on?
I'm gonna sit there and pass gas. I had to wait
Look at
till
him, like,
outside.
he didn't want to smell that.
I've been holding this shit using the fucking elevator. Like, no. This is what parents have to go through.
Parents?
When they're around kids and they're doing social things and activities, you need a moment to release your shit.
This week on Interesting Characters, Rupert Rickards, black-owned consulting company, brand _17C.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Rupert Rickards. I'm from Left Rack City, Queens. Right now I reside in the DMV area. I'm glad you asked. The reason I'm an interesting character is because first and foremost I'm a dad. So I got 6 kids. 6 kids. 4 girls, 2 boys. Now on the 9-to-5 side I work desktop support within the DMV area in the private sector. What I'm trying to use the 9-to-5 is, which we should all be doing, is the seed money. And that's the segue into making myself self-employed or moving into an entrepreneurship thing. So this is what the brand 17C is about. As I said, I got 6 kids, so I'm gonna break down their name from top to bottom. Obviously the oldest when she first came out. So that's Trinity Anara Rickards. We got Jahan Tatiana Elamin Rickards. Then we have the beautiful, beautiful Sunshine Kamisi Amira Rickards. She's my favorite. Anyway, don't tell the kids I said that, all right? And then we got number 4 is my boy, my oldest son, which I didn't think I was gonna have a boy. I had 3 girls in a row, and I was like, yo, God, what's going on? Like, I ain't got the boy components, like, what's going on? But again, he told me at a certain point, I got you, son. So my oldest son, Uriah Joaquin Rupert Rickards, that was like naming him after me, but not, and letting him just speak into his own lane. And I'm glad I made that choice. Then we got Dresden, the young swag, young fly boy, young Drizzy, and Dresden. That's Dresden Makai Rickards. And then I got the youngest of the youngest. That's my last baby girl, as of now. Her name is Yael S. Brooklyn Rickards. So they range from 8 all the way up to 16 in December next month. Or no, 2 months. My oldest will be 16. So 8 to 16 is the kids. We definitely got stair steps. The other thing is Sunshine and Jahan, they were both born in 2007. So what I found out when they were born is that's what I guess they call them Irish twins. So yeah, those 2 are Irish twins, and those are 3 of the Capricorns. Sunshine Jahan, Uriah Capricorn. Trinity, the oldest, she's a Sagittarius. We have Dresden, that's a Taurus, bullheaded swag. And then Yael is a Cancer. So as far as balance go, because I can imagine like y'all eyes are wide open right now while y'all looking at this like, bro, like, yo, but it is what it is. I just needed some cable. I ain't had cable at that time. But the way I balance it is not trying to balance it, right? But really focusing on my routine, just in life, with the kids, without the kids, and when I'm at work, and trying to just balance it, but also not allow that parental guilt to kick in, like I'm lacking or I didn't do something, because it is what it is. You're balancing many hats, especially with 6 kids. And the reality is, whether I have 1 or 2, 3, 4, or 5, which I have 6, is that parents typically focus on what they have. So if you have 6, you're focusing on how to make 6 work. If you have 2 is a lot because that's all you have. But if you got a 3rd one, you would have to focus. So my focus is on what I have, and then we do what we have. Like I said, some nights we be having breakfast for dinner, be cereal, be pancakes, eggs. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna starve, you know what I mean? We just get stuff done. Obviously some things gonna fall by the wayside, but we'll always remember and pick it back up when we can. So my 9 to 5, as I mentioned, doing desktop support right now in the private sector is honestly, when we talk about jobs, the best job I've had, in the sense that got my own office. People love that, right? And it's just the environment, just real like a home feels, family feel, excuse me. And we service about over 300 users between our small IT gang. But I'm in a season right now where I went to school for, got my bachelor's for, is that it's just not there no more. I don't got motivation and stuff like that, so I do it like most of us do it, just to get that paycheck, and as well as just to have seed money for any and everything else I want to do, whether it's vacation, party, get something fresh, or money towards business, or a small percentage to invest in. So that segues into the brand 17C. And brand 17C is a brand in itself, but it also helps other brands push forward their brand, right? So that comes together in many different components. So a hashtag collaboration coach, as the hashtag said, I coach companies or individuals, even if you want to start your social media page or something like that, or you're at the point where you're just starting your business, or you're like 3 years in, or you're actually really established. There's always pain points that you need help through, or actually just fresh ideas. So that's where brand 17C comes in to help come alongside, hold people accountable, and help them with clear their vision. Because typically people have a vision, it's just not clear on how to move and how to be active on that, right? We get stuck in what's the easy part of what we've been doing. So brand 17C, again, the collaboration coach is more around the consultation part, which is always first before we move into anything else, just to consult, see where you're at, what you want, and what you're trying to accomplish. Also do cross branding, right? Pretty much mean that take two different brands, whether in the same industry or different industry, and find ways to help them brand the other person's merchandise, services, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, if they collaborate together on a project, or if it's just a podcast where you grabbing people's attention to bring it to this particular one where you both can have a takeaway. It's never one-sided. The other part of that is the brand experience. If you don't have that in place for people when they actually consume your product or service, you won't leave nothing in their mind to remember you by, to want to come back. People love like to have memories of, right? It's just the experience of coming into your store, to first opening the package of your product, or just experiencing your product, whatever it is. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with that on the branding side. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into the 9 to 5 because I'm trying to phase that out of my life. I'm trying to retire myself a little early and whatnot. So like any business person, self-employed, or however you know, whatever you call yourself, there's going to be struggles regardless. Struggles is part of your growth. Struggles is part of your success. So my struggle was once sitting down with myself and figuring out if I really wanted to do this initially. Obviously I came to yes, right? So my struggle was really figuring out the lane and the niche, whatever, however y'all say it, right? Of where I'm good at. I found out from other things that I've done that as some part of it, even though it is my journey and it's still a lesson, that I've wasted my time and energy on things that I wasn't necessarily, I can become good at, but it just wasn't my thing, right? So one thing I do know is that most of the time, whether people ask me or not, I give unsolicited advice. So that's what the branding is in the consulting part. So the struggle is, like I said, the figuring out the niche. So I gave a few sample sessions in the beginning to 2 friends that had businesses to really play out the interaction on what they need and feel how I even give out advice, making sure that I'm listening to customer, because typically those with good ideas, or even those who think they have good ideas, you talk more than you listen. So that's not necessarily a struggle, but it's something I've identified that I have to make sure, because now in order to bring value, I have to hear what the individual, what the company, or what the business people need from me, and then we can kind of brainstorm about a few ideas, and then I give my recommendations. So that's one piece of just being honest with myself and what do I need to do to make sure this business thrives. But also, my first and foremost is to give value and to help people with their bottom line. That's it. People just want to make money. You know what I mean? Obviously you have to go through your process, and that's where I come into play. So I would say making sure the niche this time around is right, and I really want to do it and complete it all the way through. Making sure I'm listening to the customers and exactly what they're requiring and what they need, and not assuming from my point of view what I think they need, and then help them get those results and help them grow that bottom line. So yeah, as far as what I can think of, those are the immediate struggles, at least right now. Well, the reason I like this field because it's very fitting for my personality. Jim and I all day, I already said we got many personalities, right? So that's needed in business to help you look at it in very different perspectives. But now, it just speaking to my spirit right now. Outside of a lot of things I've sat down and try to go internal with to figure out if I wanted to do it and how to do it and if it's even worth my time, this one really spoke to me. And I want to see people succeed. And I like coming alongside people and going through at least the part I play in their process to help them get the results that they want. I found myself while giving out the sample sessions when I'm talking to people, where it's like I would give an illustration like I could imagine if it's a real dope artist in the booth just spitting bars, right? It's just that feeling that you get during the meeting, after the meeting, and even a half an hour to an hour after the meeting. Like you just by sharing your value with somebody and then their feedback, that it just gets you fired up. So I know and that's why sometimes you have to test stuff, and whether you think you should do it or not, test it and see how you feel and trust your intuition. I'm also in a season of trusting my intuition, and this is where I'm going to be. It's where I'm going to be for a long time. I'm going to build this up, right? And along the way, I've gained my team right now. It's just me, solo, and but also doing my research, getting some foundational things, getting some structures. Because also what I try to help people get is even if they have systems in place now, we may need to switch that. So even for myself, as I ask people to change and do things for the betterment, I have to also be as flexible and create systems for when people come to asking for my services. So that's pretty much why I like this, and it's just dope. If you look on my Instagram handle, look under my IGTV, again it's @brand_17C. I have a little series called My 4 Questions. So it's just raw and uncut, which is just a straight shot through no matter what happens during the conversation. I'm not cutting it, editing it. So within our conversation, the interviewer becomes the interviewee. So we have, as it's mentioned, 4 questions. The first one is always the same. Who are you and what do you do? The second, third, and fourth can change depending on the particular individual I'm interacting with. I'll ask them if there's certain questions they want to highlight with their brand. If not, we'll have some generic questions, and then at least one will definitely be around branding. But the whole idea is just a quick snippet, quick snap of who they are, what do they do, and part of their personality with the branding side of it. So I've been building that up a lot. Again, go check that out on my Instagram. And I use that just for content, to build content, to pull in very, very cool individuals that want to talk about their brand and give them another piece of content for themselves. And then it's just an icebreaker. So it gets to introduce people. Like people love to talk in front of cameras, people love to selfie, do their Insta story. And it also helps to build content where I can later on collage all the people I've interacted with, and some people I've helped, not all, and just an exchange of energy and time and professionalism. My overall goal with all of this is to position me and my family financially in a good place based on my goals of what I want to do and how I want to live my life. Obviously, because it's not just that selfish with the brand, because I do want to provide value to people. With doing this is actually a part of my lifestyle, because I love sitting down and going through this process with people and helping them get the results they want. But overall, like I said, it's more so for the family to provide the services to get money in exchange for the family, to position myself, to have a viable company, very results driven, not just philosophy driven, right? And so that I can move about when I want to. And if I wanted to step away from the business for 3 months, and the way that it's operating, it will still make me the same amount of money and I won't miss a penny. You know what I mean? And that's really it, to move about and to really own my time, own my life, and move as I see fit, and I have to ask someone else. So that's my overall goal. You can follow me on social media platform. Instagram is @brand_17C. If it's my personal page, it's @Vintage Rupert, and that's VINTAGERUPERT, and that's the personal page. Again, the brand and stuff, @brand_17C. Facebook, Rupert Rickards, last name RICKARDS, and I will be building collaboration culture on Facebook. It's there, but it's unpublished right now because I haven't been putting content on it, but I'm going to build that up. We're giving just value to people through coaching and certain collaborations that I've done, and what was the response, or what was at the end of the session, what they gave as far as their feedback. And if it applies to you, definitely reach out. This is what it's about, collaborating in a capacity where we both can give and take on a successful journey. So that's pretty much my social media handles right now. But definitely check me out, definitely follow me. You have any question, please DM me. Challenge my mind on what it is that you need with your brand, and always let me know your story.
Next episode on Interesting Characters.
Tune in live to first season of Interesting Characters with your boy, RAINCHECKLIVE Productions. You got your boy, yours truly, Divine Self-Savior, on episode 7, October 28th, 8 p.m. Lock in. Peace.
Oh, damn, I'm Brent.